Hey guys, Pawnce here on the PBE with Kayn, the new champion once again. So today's video is a bit of a combination, my opinion on the character slash a bit of an announcement video sort of thing. So what I think about the character here is not going to be super concise or any kind of really finalized thought process. That video is actually coming in the future, so stay tuned for that when I can really kind of, I think, state my opinion with confidence. I want one more day to do that. So yeah, in the sense, this is an announcement video saying on twitch.tv/Pawnce, like we always are, going to be live with this character so long as this video is up. So if this video exists and you're watching it right now, that means you can go down in the description below, click the link to twitch.tv/Pawnce and find us live there. And again, so the reason I'm sort of talking about this is kind of the last day, I think, where I really want to crystallize my opinion on him, because he has some issues and I think he excels in certain areas. But there are some problems I think that need to be addressed. Now, if you happen to have seen my previous streams on this character, or me playing this character, you probably heard me at least a few times. I think the general tone of how I've referenced him has been quite negative. I don't think that fully encompasses like his potential. So he's not necessarily a bad champion, even if I complain about playing him. I think balance-wise, he's probably not too far off in terms of anything. Like, my issue with him is that, well, there's actually several, at least in terms of how I'm able to phrase it right now. I don't want to get into this too deeply or like really commit to it too hard, because my opinion still can change. Because I'm probably going to release a video sometime in the next 2 days or so with, you know, again, my finalized opinions, but... yeah, I don't know. It feels like the character does things well, but it's not necessarily the things that you think he would do well. And then there's kind of an issue with... So there's a bit of a disconnect between his strength in the jungle and his strength in terms of fighting other people. But I guess overall, the issue I'm having is that I feel like by his design, you think, you know, sort of the innate assumption in terms of how he's moving around and how he plays is that he's going to function like an actual assassin, whereas he actually, you know, especially since this form as well, it's called you know, Shadow Assassin. It's really not, is the thing, or rather he doesn't function like your traditional assassins, who admittedly I think right in the past says they'd sort of want to move away from this idea of lack of counterplay and stuff, where the assassin basically shows up, kills the person right away, and then that's kind of their job. This character is not so much like that. He actually functions a lot more like a melee range skirmisher. Kind of like how, I guess, I don't know. I think it was phrased as like Fiora or Yasuo functions, except he doesn't hard carry like them. So that's a bit of an issue, but... Again, the fact that, like, you know, the more traditional assassin types still exist, like Zed, that show up, kill one person immediately, potentially kill everyone if they're fed enough, and just sort of super hard carry games. Compared to this, which is it's a bit more, I guess, balanced in its approach to things. And I think the reason for that is that they really, Riot for once, has taken mobility, well, not for once, but I mean especially has taken mobility and utility into consideration for a character's overall total strength. So the fact that this character is so mobile tempers the fact that he doesn't just kind of jump in and immediately kill everyone. He just sort of has to... Well, I don't know. The damage pattern is a lot like this. I mean, this is like an under-leveled AD carry. I'm level 18 with some items, but, you know, you would go in like this, get your damage, and then over time, like, kill a squishy, or maybe get someone really low and then back out kind of quickly, or at best maybe surprise someone and then kind of drag out a fight over a long period of time. Whereas, again, it's opposed to the example of something like Zed, which is just going to suddenly appear out of nowhere and kill something before anyone really has the time to react. So, again, that's a bit of an issue in that he exists in an environment that is not quite as balanced, and he is sort of balanced, if you get what I mean. Of course, this is just the Shadow Assassin form. Then there's the whole issue with his other form, which I'm not going to get into. We'll talk about that in the other video. Then there's also the issue that I feel like this is a solo queue issue, but I feel like he doesn't really hit his major power spike until 3 major items in. Sometimes 2, depending on how quickly you get there. But I feel like a lot of characters, the most successful ones are like, for solo queue purposes, are the one that hit their big power spike really early and just can hard carry games as quickly as possible before your team has a chance to screw up. So, for example, the assassin guy here would probably, if I built this, and ignore the boots, I don't know, an extra white item, whatever you want it to be. Like, I don't know, maybe where is it? If you, I don't know, you bought this or something. Like the character, if you got this by mid-game, he'd be quite strong. Or, I don't know, mid to late. And of course, the other form has its own power spike at around 3 items. But yeah, the fact that he's actually really bad in the early game, especially pre-transformation, I'm not really a fan of that at all. But again, I also do understand if everyone's strong in the early game, then no one's strong in the early game. So that is a balance thing. But again, it's the kind of thing that rubs me the wrong way a bit. Aside from that, what was the other? Oh yeah, and then there's the fact that there's a big disconnect between the amount of damage he does in the jungle compared to when you go to fight people earlier, because he's got the bonus damage on the Q, which is again something we'll talk about in the other video. I don't want to get into that too much, but yeah, you get 110 bonus damage early on in the jungle, and then that doesn't exist for fighting anything else. So anyway, like I said, twitch.tv/Pawnce. If you have any more questions about what I'm talking about, I realize this is a bit rambly and it's kind of all over the place. I'm still again crystallizing these ideas. So if you want to know more about what I think about all this or want me to kind of elaborate more, again, please join us on twitch.tv/Pawnce. Available in the description below. Yeah, I'll see you guys around. It's more likely I'll see your questions in between games, but you can try, you know, while I'm playing. I just might miss it because, you know, I'm busy killing someone or dying or something like that. All right, goodbye.